Gallows by the Tower, the oldest church in London, because the fire was travelling at such a rapid speed towards the Tower of London, where all of the city's dynamite was held. So obviously if the fire made contact with the tower, boom! The Tower of London goes up, and let's be honest, most of the city with it. But fortunately, divine intervention occurred, and a gust of wind blew the fire away from the Tower of London and onto the building which runs alongside of it, which is the tax office. The most burned down building in London. There's a great story about the Church of All Hallows by the Tower as well, which is that Samuel Pepys was still on top of it writing his diary, and then he ran back home through all of the burning buildings because he remembered he'd left a piece of Parmesan cheese back at home. Unbelievable, something that good. So all the trade happened on the other side of the river, and all the fishing used to happen on this side of the river. And on our left here, this is Old Billingsgate Fish Market we're going by, so all the fishing used to happen inside there. Obviously it doesn't look like a fish market now because it's not anymore. Michael Caine used to work there then, in Old Billingsgate Fish Market as a fishmonger. And the language that they used to use in that fish market was so crass and so vulgar that if anyone used foul language in London, it was known as Billingsgate, after the fishmongers in that market. It's been closed for a few decades now, but then after that it became a corporate hospitality venue. But it took them 2 years to fully get rid of the smell of fish. And even since then it's closed down. So, considered to be one of the most haunted churches in London, this on our left. It is said that inside there the spirit of the former rector Miles Coverdale could be seen at the altar, delivering his ghostly sermons. Ooh. Might be him ringing the bells now. Coming up in this gap on the left, you'll be able to see the Shard. The Shard is the tallest building in the UK, and the 7th tallest in years. Hands, knees and feet, and no safety equipment. No rope, no harness, nothing. Now he made it to the top, but when he did, we stay in your seats, guys, when the bus is moving. Stay in your seats when the bus is moving. So now, for example, please, sir. Thank you. That's the one rule we have here. It's a statue of Dick Whittington's cat in Highgate Hill, the only statue of a fictional cat in the world. And we're going straight for, look on your left-hand side, because you'll see Southwark Bridge, made famous for being in the film Mary Poppins. And this bridge is also known as the Lovers Bridge, because it was trading garnet back in the day. It also has 8 bells named after the royal family. Elizabeth, Philip, Edward, Anne, Charles, Andrew, William and Harry. And we're now going under this underpass, which isn't famous at all, but if you've got ears, guys, if you've got sensitive hearing, and we'll see. Church. You can see on our right, that is the Knights Templar Church. That is famous for being in the film The Da Vinci Code. Numerous scenes were filmed inside of there. And on our left over the river, you have the Oxo Tower. Now Oxo is a very popular brand of British engraving and stock view, but it's actually illegal to advertise on the banks of the Thames, so they shouldn't be doing that. And when it first opened, the council took them to court, and Oxo hired a lawyer whose defence was, it doesn't say Oxo actually, it says OXO. And he won, by the way, with that defence. So if you need a lawyer, he's your guy. But then again, if you're taking legal advice and lawyer tips from a tour guide, then you've got bigger problems than you think, really. Which, as you can imagine, caused quite... You may not be familiar with the name, but more so his creation. And also Deal or No Deal as well, he's a top TV producer. Queen Victoria herself, and 12 photos of pretty ladies, which will play the song It's a Kind of Magic. And also around here is a plaque which marks the exact central point of all of London is in this area. So we right now, guys, I'm dead centre in London. At our left, you can see the London Eye. My advice would be, if you're thinking on going on the London Eye, don't. I mean, it's up to you guys, you do you, but if you don't book in advance, a ticket on the door is £42 per person, and a full rotation lasts half an hour. You can get tickets in advance for like 26, 29 quid. But Metropolitan Police, London's chief police force, we can see some of them walking around now, looking for crime. It was founded by Robert Peel in 1829, the Metropolitan Police, and that is why British policemen are known as bobbies. That wouldn't be that threatening, would it? Now this, where we are now, is stop number 11. So, hello guys, welcome. My name is Andrew, your live guide. Where are you guys from? America? Derby? Oh, Brits. First Brits I've had all day, lovely. One thing you guys in the States do though is you do like to say where you're from in the States. You can't just say you're from Boston and say where you're from. You go Boston, Massachusetts. We don't do that here. Like Newcastle, Tyne and Weir. It doesn't really work with British places. Hello, welcome. What a lovely smile, what a lovely thank you. Where are you two from? Sweden? Oh, hello, welcome. I'm Andrew, by the way, the live guide. I'm not just someone who gets on a bus with a microphone and decides to chat to everyone. I do work for the company. That's not why everyone's sat so far away from me, but like, it was this weirdo on a bus. Although I don't know if you've actually caught public transport in London yet. You will see quite a few strange weirdos. You've not caught the Underground yet? The Underground? What is it, metro station? Subway. That's what you call it. Oh, lovely. You see some strange characters on the Underground, on the subway. They always say on the Underground as well, if you see anything suspicious, please report it to the British Transport. Oh, those tuk-tuks. Oh. So as you can see, yeah, we've got a few big sites around here, haven't we? Old Big Benjamin there?
No, it's not.
You can't even see Big Ben.
No,
this bell. The tower, that's the Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben is the name of the largest bell within the tower. And on your left, this bit of Parliament, which is jutting out here, that's Westminster Hall. That's where Queen Elizabeth II was later rested in state when she passed away in 2022. And we love a monarch here in Britain, but we love a queue even more. And at its peak, the waiting time to pay respects to Her Majesty, as you probably saw on all your news channels, its peak was 31 hours. Unbelievable. Queue to pay respects to her. Give a skip straight to the front, be kind, because he's a man of the people. And we love David Beckham for that, but we also hate him a bit, because I think he's in his 50s now, he's still disgustingly attractive, isn't he? He's like our version of Brad Pitt, he's just not aging. I found out the other day, Brad Pitt's in his 60s now, isn't he? That is phenomenal, isn't it? It's just not fair for the rest of us, is it? This is stop number 16, everybody, so if you need the Imperial War Rooms, change here. The Cenotaph or Downing Street, change here. This is your stop. And every Remembrance Sunday they read some poppies at its base to commemorate those that we lost during the 2 World Wars. And this is Downing Street we're coming up to, guys, the big black gates. Getting photos out, cameras out now if you want to get a photo. You can tell if the Prime Minister is in or not. Here it is on our left. You can see 6 armed guards behind there. Brady Soul Force. Oh yeah, by the way, it's a weekend. Protests always happen. Ironically outside Downing Street, but Keir Starmer's not in, so defeats the point. Top of the chart. I appreciate we do have American friends as well. I heard on the news the other day you have troubles in your country. I heard from somewhere that someone's eating all the cats and dogs. What's going on? He's the king of the soundbite, old Trump, isn't it? He got their heads in their hands. My favourite one was the bleach comment in COVID. That killed me. Especially, was it Fauci was next to him, or someone's face just went ghastly coloured when they went, I think we should try injecting bleach into the body. I'm like, why? Why does he say this stuff? It's not you two, is it? You're not eating the cats or the dogs. Simpsons were just absolutely brilliant, so Trump's a walking, talking meme machine. Right, we're now making our way towards Trafalgar Square and its prime monument, Nelson's Column. Now, it's so tall because that was the height of his ship, the HMS Victory. That's why it's that height. And he's facing in the direction of Portsmouth because that's where his ship first launched to fight off the Napoleonic forces of the French and the Spanish. And one little guy who was a massive fan of Nelson, you might be familiar with his name, it was Adolf Hitler. We're familiar with him, yes? He is what we call in this country a certified rotter. He was a proper bad egg, old Hitler. But it was this is stop number 18, so change here if you need Trafalgar Square, the National Gallery, the National... Welcome. My name is Andrew, I'm your life guide. The Canadian High Commission. Do you have any Canadians on? No. Now, it's a High Commission because basically we still own them. So if it's part of the Commonwealth, it's a High Commission. I think we're falling out a few years ago, didn't we? You broke free. And it's a character. On our left, at the very end there, on the top of that plinth, that's the Duke of second son. And that is the Duke of York from the popular nursery rhyme, The Grand Old Duke of York. And it was written by his own soldiers now, marched just straight back down again. So that Duke of York is famous for bad decisions on the battlefield. And the current Duke of York is Prince Andrew. Like your life goes, well, if I had have listened to him, I would have given him 2 tips. 1, don't go to an island, and don't go to a Pizza Express. That'd be allegedly in front. Anyway, we're now making our way towards Piccadilly Circus, famous of course for its illuminated advertising boards. When we get here, guys, we're making a very sharp left at the end, but make sure you look right because you will see a street with a McDonald's in front of it and loads of theatres down it. Henry Avenue, the heart of London's West End. So we'll see it very briefly on our right-hand side. And then obviously you can also see the illuminated advertising boards. Now this particular version has been here since the 26th of October 2017 and they show 6 brands in total, and every 10 minutes one of the brands dominates the screen for 40 seconds. Here we are, Piccadilly Circus. Like I said, if you look right, guys, you see that McDonald's and all the theatres, Shaftesbury Avenue, the West End, the largest concentration of theatres in the world. And the area and the district is called Piccadilly because the ruffs which we used to wear around our necks in Elizabethan England, or by people like Shakespeare, Elizabeth I, Sir Francis Drake, they were known as Piccadills. And the main trading area for the Piccadills was in this vicinity, hence why the name is Piccadilly. It's Ludgate Circus as well, because they are so circular. And this is stop number 19 we're coming up to, guys, so change here if you do need Piccadilly. The marriage of Anthony Bridgerton happened inside here, St James's Church. It's one of Sir Christopher Wren's churches, the man who designed St Paul's Cathedral, and you can tell because there's clear glass windows. Any church which Wren designed has clear glass windows. This is from the Mason, we're coming up to this green building. Now this is famous for its luxurious hampers at Christmas time, but it was also one of the first stores to ever sell baked beans, was inside there. And coming up on our right, make sure... So if you shop down there, you are prohibited from singing, dancing, shouting, tapping your feet, banging, displaying any boisterous behaviour. If you do any of those things, you are banned for life, and you can't shop down there again. Only ever one man has ever gone down there and hum and sang and got away with it, and that was Paul McCartney. And that's because the Beatles recording studios, Apple Studios, were just behind there on Savile Row. And they're guarded every day by guards such as Beadles, and it was designed by the Lord of Burlington for his wife Lady Burlington, so she could have an area to shop with all her friends away from the crime desperate-ridden streets of London. Now we're going straight here, guys, but look left down this street, you'll see a building with loads of black lanterns and railings with gold tips on. That's White's Gentlemen's Club, just there on our left. And it's in there that the Sandwich was born. Now the Earl of Sandwich used to sit there gambling all day long, playing blackjack, roulette, poker, everything. And then one day he asked one of his servants to bring in bread, meat and cheese, and the first ever sandwich was born. Albeit a very dry night, the most expensive is £10,000 a night. And they've got a very strict dress code if you're eating there as well. So David Beckham once went to go eat at the Ritz wearing ripped jeans and t-shirts, and they threw him out. His response was, "Do you not know who I am?" And there it is, guys, you enjoy the Ritz. It was designed by Charles II, who was a bit of a fusspot king, and he wanted to get from Hyde Park to St James's Park without leaving royal soil, so he just designed a new park. And if you notice inside, look in there, you can't spot any flowers. They're not allowed to be grown inside Green Park. And that's because Charles II was a bit of a naughty boy, and he got caught in there giving flowers to his mistress by his wife. So that she henceforth decided that all flowers to be dug up, and we've stuck that tradition ever since. It's a nice park, isn't it? A lot of people socialise in there, have picnics, but just be aware, if you do go in there and have a picnic, you'll be having a picnic on top of the corpses of lepers. The nearby hospital, St James's Hospital, used to bury all of their lepers in Green Park.
Good fertiliser.
Sorry, sir?
Good fertiliser.
Good fertiliser for the flowers that don't grow there. So what it lacks in flowers, it makes up for in corpses. Everything you want in a garden. This is stop number 21. It's Park Corner. Green Park, change here. Stop number 21, change here. Orange Route, change here. You have a great time, madam. Lovely to meet you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Tigrit and Peter Morton, because they couldn't find anywhere in the city that did a decent American burger. So they just opened up their own place. Now there's over 70 Hard Rock cafes worldwide, and the second one they opened is really famous for their numerous rock and roll memorabilia. That particular one has a signed guitar from Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix and Paul McCartney. There's four of its war memorials. So for example, just on our left hand side we can see the Bomber Command Memorial to commemorate all those that fell during the air raids, rifle and the Haka dance. The Haka dance obviously a very popular Aboriginal dance in New Zealand, which they do before their rugby matches to intimidate opponents. And it seems to work because they're quite successful, aren't they? Maybe the England football team should think about doing a dance before our matches. On our right hand side, this is the oldest and largest memorial, the Wellington Arch. It was built in 1828, and notice the statue on top of Quadriga, the four-horse chariot of war driven by a little boy and descended upon by the Angel of Peace. And on our right hand side, that's the Australian Memorial, that bit of wall. It looks more impressive on the other side, there's loads of plates going off in different directions, but the stone itself is from Perth. And on our left we have these walls, which the walls aren't that famous, but very friendly looking. Well, possibly so, because I can tell you what's behind the walls. The most famous garden in Britain, Buckingham Palace Gardens, is behind there. That's why it's a friendly wall. Now they hold numerous events and royal celebrations, including their garden parties, in which 30,000 random people are selected each year to sit and celebrate. So remember the rule. Don't move when the bus is moving. No, it doesn't matter. Now Buckingham Palace walls have actually been breached before itself by climbing up a drain pipe on the outside. When he was in the palace, he then proceeded to wander the corridors eating cheese and crackers. And he even went to sit on the throne too. It was later discovered that he was drunk and high on magic mushrooms. But when he was in the palace, he actually ended up stumbling into Queen Elizabeth II's bedchamber whilst she was still in it. Understandably, Her Majesty was startled, frightened, before Michael Fagan said to her, "Madam, relax, I'm Irish." Learning of Her Majesty's death in September 2022 at the tender age of 96. That night, Michael Fagan went to his nurse of Her late Majesty. Rest in peace, Mark. Now, let's be honest, if any of us broke into Buckingham Palace, you'd take a little memento with you, yes? Yes? What would you take, madam? No, what would you take? The crown? You're not messing around, are you? I was going to say like a jewel, but you want the actual crown itself. Well, yeah, something like a jewel, a tiara, a nice bit of jewellery, whatever it might be. Not Edward Boyd Jones. He stole a pair of... I was going to say, I said Queen Victoria, not Camilla Parker Bowles, sir. It's not that one. No monarch has ever reigned longer. And she was a hard-working monarch, and she worked right up until her dying day. Ease. I don't know if you do this in your case, someone's mental capabilities, and we ask who the Prime Minister is at the time. But there's a period in this country where no one really knew who the Prime Minister was. On our left here, this building's in Belgravia, one of the poshest parts of London. This building with the blue canopies, that's where Mozart wrote his first ever symphony when he was 8 years old, in that building. When I was 8 years old, I was still putting crayons up my nose. Which explains why I'm again a tour guide. So Mozart wrote his first ever symphony there. This district of Belgravia is one of the poshest parts of London. So numerous famous people have lived here. J.K. Rowling, the lady who wrote Harry Potter, lived here. Ian Fleming, the man who wrote James Bond, lived here. Sean Connery and Roger Moore, two former James